What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and today we're talking more about Biomutant, a game that I was on the fence about. In fact, you might even say that I was turned off by it until I watched the most recent trailer, which is actually a very in-depth breakdown of what you can expect going into the game from Experiment 101's art and creative director. That's a pretty good resource for some information. So let's start off with a couple of the tidbits that he says. Open world post-apocalyptic kung fu fable. That's the description that has been given to Biomutant. That gets me very interested. For some people, that could be too much going on. For some people, that might sound overwhelming, but if you think about it, it all does kind of fit together. On top of that, the game is structured like Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's an 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer space where you dive in and you have the entire world to explore. However, there are a couple of elements of the game that are not like Zelda Breath of the Wild. For instance, the weapon degradation. If you watch the entire video, there's a pretty in-depth breakdown of character customization and weapon customization, but in short, you're never going to have to worry about a weapon being broken. Now, certain elements of a weapon do degrade over time, but they don't impact the performance or the gameplay. They made it very clear this is not going to play like Breath of the Wild, where all of a sudden, with just one swing, your sword breaks, and then you're left without a weapon, or using a weapon that you wouldn't really prefer. This game is also described as a strange, weird, good mix between Ratchet & Clank, Devil May Cry, Batman Arkham, and a couple of other influences. And I wanted to scroll down and read one of the comments below the IGN video from TivanBus17, who says, quote, "This reminds me of my childhood, just spitballing wacky game ideas with friends and making up the rules as we go. Difference is, this team actually made it." I couldn't agree more. This sounds like something that is packed full of creativity, and those are the ideas that I really want to see. Of course, you do have games like Aliens Fireteam that we talked about earlier this week. On top of that, you have big AAA games that are coming out later this year. Your Call of Duties, your Battlefields. Grand Theft Auto 5 is coming back yet again on the next generation of consoles. But it's games like Biomutant that get me more excited. It's games like this that bring something new and innovative to the table, that take inspiration from classic hits, that really get me excited about what this generation has to offer. In addition, the lore of the game itself is very interesting. I won't go too in depth because a lot of people might want to go in blind, but in short, the way this game works is that there is a tree of life at the center of the map that represents the health of the world. If you choose to align yourself with a faction that wants to save the world, then the tree becomes healthier. If you align with a faction that wants to destroy the world and kind of impose this cleansing to ensure that things regain a sense of normalcy, then you will see the tree begin to wither and die. It all depends on player choice. It depends on what you want to do. If you're on the fence about picking up Biomutant because it is a brand new IP, you're probably not alone. But I would encourage you to check out the pedigree of the team that's making the game happen. Experiment 101 was co-founded in 2015 by Stefan Ljungqvist, a former studio art director and game director at Avalanche Studios, who had a pretty heavy hand in making games like Mad Max and Just Cause a reality. Since then, their team has continued to grow and evolve, and in 2017, it was acquired by THQ Nordic, which is publishing Biomutant for 2021. All things considered, with a leader like that, and a team behind the scenes chosen by that leader, I have faith in the future of Biomutant and in the future of Experiment 101. In short, Biomutant was a game that was almost entirely off my radar, but now that I've seen some gameplay and I've heard Stefan Ljungqvist say more about the game, I'm pretty excited, and I think it might be one of my most highly anticipated games of the next few months, maybe even 2021. We'll see what happens. But again, this game launches on May 25th across PS4, Xbox One, and PC. If you're watching on YouTube, in the comment section down below, let me know what you think about what Biomutant is bringing to the table, and if you're listening on a podcast service, hit me up on Twitter at JamPackSam to share your thoughts. Would love to start some conversations and share more about Biomutant in the next few days, since next week is a very big week for the release from Experiment 101. I'm sure their team is very excited. But until next time, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon, and keep on playing.